Hey, good Saturday morning to everyone. Let's just start today out by saying that yesterday, by no way did it ever reach the high that was given. What'd y'all see, about 31, 32, 33 at most? And that wind was just horrific. I can't think of another word that best describes it. I was out 3 or 4 times, and it took quite a few times to back it up to the heater to unthaw my blue jeans. It was pretty rough out there yesterday. This morning is just the same. We're sitting at 29 degrees with a wind chill of 20 this morning. Extremely cold. And I want to urge this, let me say this so many times. With this cold weather, everyone is trying to stay warm. I don't know what has caused the 2 incidents this morning, but already, and there could be more that I have not been contacted about. But already this morning, there have been 2 fires in our immediate area that I'm aware of. As I said, there could be more. The first, and let's pull this up and take a look at this, we go to the Clarkdale area. And we see that a barn caught fire earlier on Clarkdale Road and 2800 block there of Clarkdale Road. Everyone was okay. No one was hurt on that, but I think there was a lot of equipment, a lot of stuff inside that. Our next message that I got this morning was a home fire, and this is ongoing as we speak right now. So this family needs prayers at this point. They did make it out, from what I'm understanding, and as things like this happen, details are sketchy. This is on Valley Road is where the fire is. The volunteer fire department is on the scene. There are lots of people there right now that are helping put out the blaze. We certainly hope everything is good and they contain this, but it is looking more and more of the messages that I was getting on this, that this could be a total loss for this family. So this is the Valley Road area. Keep them in mind as you begin your day, as well as the volunteer fire department that are helping with this blaze this morning. It's a lot to deal with. So that's some of the things that we're starting out with today. Fires can happen so easily, especially when it's cold. A heater can catch a curtain on fire. It's just numerous things. So be careful with all of this. How are you today? I hope well as we begin a Saturday. The weekend finally arrived. You get to enjoy yourself. Sleep a little bit later than normal, and I got behind some kind of a way this morning. I was supposed to be here, about 8 or 9 minutes before I did. A lot went on. I didn't quite get here quick enough, but that's the way it is. Terry Ray tells us it's 20 in Philadelphia when I got up an hour and a half ago. Brr. I agree with you there. Sandy White, good morning. How are you today? Gail Gafford says 26 in Porterville this morning. Let's see. Gloria Ming says that even our mud in the yard is froze. Denise Covington, praying for the families there. And, I hate to even go there because so many of us are attached to pets. I'm not quite sure. I got a message a while ago that said maybe a pet did not make it out. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but that's what somebody told me that texted me a message about it. So we pray for everyone involved in that. It just breaks your heart with the fire. Patsy Gilbert, how are you? Charlotte Gray, good morning. It is a chilly one. Donna Roseman is up. Also, Kathy Thomas along with Joe Collins, and Joe puts it best. Burr. Aaron Hillman, how are you? Along with Kathy Spence, glad to see you there watching us from Decatur today. Lots of folks up. Thank y'all for joining us. Stacy Williams says 28 in the Russell area. That is. Britt comes in Kemper County. Cow Creek is sitting at 21 degrees right now. Ooh, cow. I bet the cows ain't even wanting to move this morning. It's so cold. I hadn't seen the first chicken stick its head up at my wife's chicken coop that she enjoys so much. Let's see, heat wave now, 23 in Philadelphia. I'm getting there. It is cold, no matter how we slice this. As we watch the different stories that are coming in this morning, let's see. All right, interesting there. We did have a report of a single vehicle accident last night on 8th Street. Seems as though somebody wanted to take out a light pole. Meridian Police Department helped them out with that. Also, we got some more stories up. There were several things that went on in the Meridian area yesterday, some scary things, and we'll talk about all of this, so don't go anywhere. We're going to get deeper into this. Again, as we wake up, Meridian sitting at 26, and if you'll post where you're watching from, what your thermometer is showing, it's always good to know where it is everywhere else. That was 21 at 6 a.m., Britt said, 27 now in Cow Creek, Mississippi. In Missouri, April Roberts says it is 12 degrees. I'm so glad I'm not sitting with you, April. Makes me cold thinking about it. Hang close. We got more coming up here with the Scotty Ray Report. We'll be right back. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Florida strawberries, $3.99. Idaho potatoes, an 8-pound bag, $3.99. Piggly Wiggly original mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar, $1.89. Piggly Wiggly peanut butter, 40-ounce jar, $3.39. Certified Angus beef New York strips family pack, $9.99 a pound. And fresh leg quarters, 10-pound bag, only $5.99.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is also opening up that new store. If you've been driving down 19 going, what is that? The back porch right past it, the big red barn there, that is a part of their group. Go in and see what they've got to do. They're wide open there. Well, as we begin this day, this came out last night, and it changed of what it was originally reported as to what it was. And when we first got the message, it was reported that we had a strong armed robbery. That was changed after investigators got there and realized that the person that, and we'll still call, they're calling it larceny, but we'll, for layman's term, we'll call this robbery. A clerk was working in a gas station, and a person came in, reached over behind the counter and grabbed the cash out of the drawer. There was no gun used, no anything like that, so that makes the charges downgrade. And the last the message that I got from MPD last night was it was determined upon the investigation that all the criteria was not met to be classified as that strong arm robbery. The suspect is wanted for larceny. A photo for the suspect has been added, and I'll show you that in just a moment for identifications. And the company will pursue charges on this for what he done. You just don't do this. Now, this is the location. If you've ever been on Highway 19, and 19 may confuse you, if you get off I-20, the airport exit, and go toward College Park, that is still considered 19, and you turn left there. It's before you reach College Park. This is the Marathon gas station. Here it is. And he did run. He walked inside this gas station here and took the money and ran, so to speak, there. Police are looking for him. If you've got information on that, we'd love to hear from you to be able to help police and put someone else where they belong. It's just not, you don't do that. As I'm not speaking to the choir. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You just don't take things that aren't yours. This is the gentleman that they are looking for. This was given to us from their camera system inside the store. If you recognize him, I'll call the police, or you can send a message to me, and I'll get in touch with them and keep your identity to yourself if you don't want to talk about that. If you don't want to give your name, that's fine. But that's who we are looking for right here. If you happen to know this person, get in touch with someone that can help and get that person where they belong. You just don't take what's not yours is the best way to word that. Now, as we step across, let's just stay on focus of what I was doing of where we are in Meridian. Let's throw this up here where I can show you this. I had a first report yesterday of somebody called me and said, something's going on at the bridge, 22nd Avenue toward the interstate. And as I dug into this, about the time that I got the details on that, I got another call from someone else that says there's something major going on toward the railroad. Cops are following trains around Meridian. Well, as we dug into that, here's what we found out. There was an incident at the railroad yard yesterday. This would be near B Street and 18th Avenue, where the rail yard is there. Earlier in the day, and we'll describe this, there were 3 incidents, actually. I only know of 2. I don't have the details on the 3rd incident, but there was a man that, from what I understand, may be autistic that went to the 22nd Avenue bridge toward the interstate and threatened to jump from the bridge. From what I understand, police officers got on the scene, and as he went to jump, they caught his arm and pulled him back over. He was taken to a local hospital for treatment. At some point, the doctor walked out of the room. The man ran out of the hospital and back down the street, crossed somewhere in front of, he was running in front of traffic on B Street near where Metro Ambulance is, toward the rail yards. And again, as he ran across, he grabbed a train and rode the back of a train for a little ways. At some point, he jumped off the back of the train, and this is where this comes about here. Let me throw this picture back up. And this isn't the exact picture. This is one that's similar to it. And it's described as a railroad sign signal that he climbed and got on top of up here somewhere. This would be similar. This isn't the actual one that he did climb, but he climbed the top of that and then threatened to jump. And the more the police dealt with him, he did start agreeing that if Metro Ambulance and the boys from the Meridian Fire Department would come, that he would come down. The fire department did show, Metro Ambulance showed up, and after a little bit, he did ease back down, and he was taken, from my understanding, probably back to the hospital for observation. Probably a little bit more security after that, after 3 things that went on with that yesterday. He was described as a white male wearing a black and orange shirt. He was seen by many yesterday in the Meridian area. We do hope this man gets help. So easily that could have turned into something else of him hurting himself or getting bumped by a car darting in and out of traffic. You know how that is. You're going down the road and you don't expect someone to run out in front of your car. So that's what went on with that. If you saw all the get going, so to speak, that may not be the exact word for all the commotion. Is that a better word for it? Maybe so. I want to remind you of this. I've added this as a daily feature. We get this Monday through Friday from the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, and we also get it from the Meridian Police Department. Now, if you are a part of another community, I'm going to look into talking with Eric Clark to where we can add Neshoba County and also Philadelphia, and I'll get in touch with Newton as well. But if you're in a neighboring city, we add this each day. We'll be putting this on the website and also on Facebook to where you can read the arrest reports. This is what the Meridian Police Department looks like each day. When you see that, you can read that. Then as we scroll down, this is, let me get down here to where this is here. This is the Lauderdale County one. This is what it would look like. You want to read who's arrested, what incidents all of the Sheriff's Department responded to. It's interesting to know what goes on in the community, and we try to stay on top of that to let you know also. Another thing that, and let me find this, of what went on yesterday. This came in after the morning show. And you're sitting in your home, and, well, you hope this never happens to you. But this happened on Poplar Springs Drive. It happened overnight, but it was not reported until 9 or 10 the next morning. You hear things, and sometimes you don't realize exactly what it was. But as we pull this picture up, this was Poplar Springs Drive, the 8300 block of Poplar Springs Drive. A mobile home was shot into. They did confirm have 2 bullets that went through the home, through the wall, all the way through. At this point, we don't know who did it, if they were shooting at someone across the street or if they stopped a car and jumped out and just shot. We're unaware of what those details are. If we do get more details on that, we'll share that with you. But things like that do happen in our community. They happen everywhere nowadays. But we'll continue to bring you these stories and things that affect you. It's always good to know in your area what's happening so you can be on the lookout. By all means, as we watch these things. Good Saturday morning to you too, Beth. Glad to see you up there. Roy Ellis says his pet deer are enjoying this cooler weather in the backyard. I bet they are. As let's see here, we talked about the fires that are happening here, shots that were fired, and this also, we don't get this very often. Let me find this if my page will update right. We had started getting reports yesterday of sleet in the area. Did y'all pay attention to that? Yeah, it did happen. A little bit here and there. And here's the picture of Philadelphia. That's actual snow there, isn't it? A little bit mixed with sleet. So there you go. It did happen. Got reports of several places around the area that was getting this, and it was a welcome sight. No accumulation happened, but it was good to see it. It's going to keep on to where we actually get one of these big snowstorms or ice storms before it's all said and done. That one's name was Landon, and he's somewhere this morning bothering someone else up that eastern coast as they try to get power and everything back onto those areas. Just a shame as we look at that. It's tough to be without power. I think y'all all know that. Now, also, as we move to talk about the next thing that went on last night, this was, let me go back over here just to give you, this was the scene last night from Chick-fil-A in Clinton, Mississippi. News broke out that something had happened as you see all the cops there showing up. The restaurant was shut down and cleared. And what actually happened was an accidental shooting through the drive-thru. A driver was placing the order, and the person in the back seat had a pistol, and somehow or another the gun went off, went through the driver's seat and struck the driver. At that point, the person in the back seat pushed the driver over to the passenger side, and they rushed to the hospital. They are ruling it as of this morning an accidental shooting. We do hope so, that's all it was, and we do not know the condition of the person at this point. But that was Clinton, Mississippi last night. If you were wondering what all that commotion was or read something about it from our page last night, that's what it was, an accidental shooting there. This next thing, do y'all remember the Aubrey case that happened in Georgia where the young man died, where he was tracked down by the guy in the pickup truck? A lawyer is saying that happened in Mississippi. Maybe I haven't read as deep into all this as I need to, but here's the story as I know it at this point. As we go down to South Mississippi, in these areas there was a delivery driver in the Macomb area that was delivering a package from Louisiana. He was in a unmarked FedEx van. And again, never pull a gun unless you know something. A call was made to police of a suspicious driver in the neighborhood. It was about 7 o'clock, so it was dark. The gentleman gets out of the FedEx truck, takes a package and puts it on the door, backs out. Somebody starts yelling at him, and he drives on. He's shot at. The van takes a bullet. It goes through. It hits some packages in there. Then somebody else is standing in the middle of the road trying to flag him down with a gun. Well, he wouldn't stop, nor would you. Somebody's standing in front of me with a gun. I'm going to keep going. Then they pursued to chase him down the interstate. Now, at no point did anybody, again, the van took a hit, but physically no one was hurt. He has gotten a lawyer, and they are going after the two gentlemen. They were arrested as we do this. Gregory Case and his son Brandon Case were arrested and released on bond late Tuesday afternoon in connection with the alleged January 24th attack on Gibson. He was a 24-year-old driver for FedEx. Gregory faces 4 charges of conspiracy. Brandon Case shooting into a motor vehicle. The attorney for the young man that works for FedEx says the charges are not big enough. They want more. We will see it. They're wanting hate crimes and all added to this. We'll watch this case. Again, this happened in the Macomb, Mississippi area. Serious charges of what the lawyer is wanting added to this. Now, by no means should you shoot into a van just because it pulls and drops a package off. You leave this up to police. You didn't see them steal anything. I don't understand how people jump to conclusion that quick. They're guilty, and they should be charged. You just don't act that way. But more is going to come out of this, and expect it to be in the news. This doesn't sound like something that is going to be brushed under the rug, so to speak. There'll be more about this to come, so be prepared for that. Let's see. Also in Tupelo, let's see here. A woman's arrested after she shot at a man in a car in Tupelo. I won't even go to where I think what was going on. Just my thoughts. But she's been arrested, and here's a picture of her, what her mugshot there. They took her downtown. You don't shoot at cars either. There's a lot of that goes on, a lot more than you realize. Wow. That happened in Tupelo there. As we go to our next story around Mississippi, a man who faked his own death is now facing federal charges right here in Mississippi. That's what happened. His name, this happened back in 2018. He had rape charges against him in Jackson County, and now he faces new federal charges. Jacob Blair Scott, 43 years old, faked his own death so he wouldn't have to go to jail. He's got a lot more charges now against him. That happened right here in the state of Mississippi also. The extent that people go to stay out of jail is unreal, isn't it? It is. It just shocks me. As we go over to, let's see, the Jackson, Mississippi, an 18-year-old is in critical condition this morning after being shot on Westchester Drive in Jackson. Critical condition. Every day. Maybe it's not every day, but boy, it's about every other. There is a headline out of Jackson, Mississippi of someone being shot in critical condition or dead. Crime is out of control in Jackson, Mississippi. And you're probably thinking like me, maybe it's time for new leadership, a new way to approach crime. I think that needs to be done. And as we look at that here, too, we want to stop it. If you see it, report it. Let's get a hold on all this before it takes over in our area. Let's make our community as safe as it can be for everybody that's out there. I think you agree with me. 99% of who you are doesn't matter whether you vote Democrat, Republican. If you're an independent voter, you want to be safe. You want to be able to walk to your mailbox, go to a grocery store, and get out and feel safe when you get back to it. That's what it all matters at the end of the day. And we can accomplish that. I promise you we can. Doesn't matter how you vote. We all want to be safe, and we can work together. Don't let anyone fool you on that. Let's see here. As we go to nationwide news, there's Spotify. The Joe Rogan thing, to where we've had Crosby, Still, and Nash now saying that they're going to pull their music from Spotify if they don't get rid of Joe. Neil Young, they've already pulled his music. Now, those people really don't. They're what you would call more or less, and if you listen to them, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you would call that basically a has-been act of someone from the yesteryear. They're not selling a bunch of records now. Joe Rogan is making them lots of money. But Spotify did do this. It kind of shocks me that they even did this. They went back on any show that he talked about COVID and his way to deal with it. They have pulled it. They have gotten rid of 70 episodes off of Spotify. You can't listen to those anymore. Kind of shocked me that they went that far. Elon Musk, you know who he is, Tesla, the guy that owns the Tesla car company. As we've been watching this go on in Canada right there, the truckers that are up there, a GoFundMe page was set up for them. They're boycotting it because they want these truckers to take a shot to be able to take products back and forth. Nearly somewhere between $8, $9, or $10 million. I've seen the figure at 8, I've seen it at 9, and I've also seen it listed at 10, had a GoFundMe page. They seized it a couple days ago and turned it off. Well, you would think that if they shut the site down, they would give it back to the people that donated that money. That's not what's going to happen. It looks like they're going to give this to other charities in Canada instead of giving it back to the people, because most likely what they would do is that it was given back, it would be given in a different form to the truckers so they could continue. $9 million taken and given to other charities that it was not intended to. Now, it's great that a charity is getting it, but that's not the point. That's not where it was supposed to go. What happens? Are there any other sites that do this for people that like to GoFundMe? I don't know. But maybe they need to look at making a bigger one that actually does where it says it's supposed to go. As we look across the country, I saw a blip of this the other day, and I didn't stop well enough to read it. But there's a young boy named Ryan that has been trapped for 5 days. He fell 115 feet, and they are doing their best to dig him out of a tunnel. And these are the pictures of where this young man is. And I can't pronounce the countries and all these different names that there are. Morocco, is that where that is? Am I saying that correctly there? But he fell 115 feet in this, and they're saying that if a mudslide happens, they won't be able to get him. They are working tirelessly to get this young man freed from the fall that he took. At least they knew that he failed. Here's another look at this as they've got those cats in there digging, trying to reach him. And we do hope the rain holds off and this does not fall in and cave in on him. It's one of the world stories that are happening this morning. You always feel for the young, don't we? We can't help but do that. We found out this morning that 4 tourists from the United States have died in the Netherlands after taking a Cessna. The plane crashed into a lake in Iceland. We had tourists from Netherlands and Belgium. I read that wrong. But 4 tourists from the United States as that Cessna 172 went down. Here's a picture of the lake where it went down. They have perished in that crash. Sightseeing. Bad news there. Awful, awful. Also today, Nashville, Tennessee. Do y'all remember this when this happened? Nashville, there were people inside a Waffle House eating. I think this was a little over a year ago. And a gentleman gets out of his truck and just starts shooting. He's on trial. He has been found guilty of all 16 charges today in a Nashville court. He will get his sentencing for what he did. His name was Travis Rinking, 33 years old, found guilty in all 16 charges, including 4 counts each of premeditated first-degree murder. And if you watch the video, oh, it's horrible. There was a lady sitting there eating, minding her own business. He walks in, she turns around, and he shoots her. For no absolute reason should that have ever happened. But let's look at stories that are happening across the United States today. Some local, some not so far away from us. But regardless of where it is, it can all happen. We know somebody, you've got a cousin that lives in an area near there or whatever. It could happen where we are. As we said, always report things that happen. Let's make sure that our city isn't overrun with crime. That's my thought for the day. Now, my second thought for the day is keeping warm. How about you? Guatemala, Jessica Davis said, is where all that went down with that little boy there. LaWanda said she doesn't like the GoFundMe page. I just don't agree with that. If you give money to go to something, they shut it down and give it to somewhere else. Normally, I thought that went back to whoever gave it. And remember, GoFundMe takes a percentage off the top that doesn't go to the people that it's intended to. And I understand they have to have people that work for them to put all that together, and it costs things, don't get me wrong. But a lot of times, if you want to give to someone, find a way to get it to them directly. On a national level, you can't exactly do that. We'll watch this story closer. It's going to be a mess in Canada there with the truckers. They're not giving up, and a lot of people are giving them that boys. We'll be here throughout the day to let you know exactly what is going on. If something happens in the community, let us know so we can find out more about it and pass it on to everybody else. Tammy Long, thank you for watching from Stonewall, Mississippi. I hope everything's well there. Jessica Davis, glad to see you there also. Terry Carter said snow yesterday at Preston as well. There was a bunch around the area there. All right, that looks like a pretty much conclusion. Now, let's go on that. Let's look at weather now. Let's talk about what's going on with the weather forecast. I haven't gotten into that today. It is cool outside, as we talked about. But let's find out what the forecast is actually going to do for you today, and so you'll be prepared, as I can't get all my P's out, can I? All right, and close, we're going to do that next here. Don't go far.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Record highs today look like it will be 47. Feels like a record from this 29 degrees we're sitting at from right now. But today, Meridian should see 47, 46 in Philadelphia. And as we go closer toward that Mississippi State area, should hold at 46 as well. Out to our west, 47 in Vicksburg. A little warmer as you travel 55 from Jackson down to Brookhaven. It'll be about 48, and down in Natchez, 47. The further you go toward the coast, the warmer it will be. As we move across to that Bama state line, we've got 46 in Demopolis, and it looks like we'll have 46 as well in Livingston, Alabama, there at the university. All the way over on the east side of the state, 47, Auburn, Alabama. Northern Alabama, 45. Southern, looks like you'll get to that 48, 49 high as well. Clanton there, 46. Been there a few times. As we look at the temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, here's what we've got. Cooler weather still in store for the great state of Mississippi, all across the South. Look at that. Even Texas is either below or normal for this time of year. A little bit of a heat wave happening out there in California as this comes across. Let's look at our 7-day forecast and tell you exactly what to expect this morning. Here we go. As we dig into this today, the National Weather Service tells us, well, we got a lot going on with this. As we look today, a high of 47, gust of about 20 miles an hour. My system says 46. The National Weather Service is going with 47. 1 degree. That's not a big deal there. Tonight, just as cold, down to 23 degrees. So don't put up the firewood, dig out more blankets, and if you got an electric blanket, it might be a great time for that. As we move into Sunday, as we head off to church, we'll get a high of 54, down still below freezing tomorrow night with a low of 31. Can you believe that? Back to work on Monday with 53, and we're below average there. We're going to hit freezing on Monday night as well, 28. Look at this. It will be Wednesday before we make it above freezing at night. And then back to a 60, 61 to end the week is what we've got showing up there. Now, let's go ahead to another week into February and see what we've got. Here we go. We're going to reach a warm, look at that, all the way on the 12th, nearly 70 degrees is what we're expecting there. And eventually we'll get that chance of showers moving here that following week there. But 60s is what we're showing there. Always scary this time of year for temperatures to be making it to 70 and upper 60s, isn't it? I don't know what I mean. We'll watch all of this carefully, let you know. But today, not a bad day. Sunshine, but it will be gusty if you're out. Make sure to wear a thick jacket. You're going to need it. That wind cuts you like a knife, so to speak. You'll need that. That's all coming up today. I hope you'll enjoy yourself. Thank y'all for coming by. Again, as we look at our temperatures right now, still 29 in Meridian at Keyfield, and as we go just north of there on up to the NAS Meridian, still hovering at 29 as well. Cool, cool, cool. Just bundle up if you've got to go outside. Hurricane weather. Is that how you said that? Hurricane? I didn't say it right. Oh, Jessica Davis says, come on, 70s. We will get that eventually. Thank y'all for coming by and being a part of this show. We plan on making this bigger and bigger each and every time we do. We'll expand. We'll be adding more features, hopefully throughout the year this year, to give you more information, let you be on top of the stories that matter to you, where you are and what you do. We'll be adding. Thank y'all for dropping by. I'll see you soon. And again, we'll be back with headlines should anything happen across the area here at Scotty Ray's Report. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by